On the 11th of April 1945, First Lieutenant Dwayne Francis took off in his Piper Cub spotter plane accompanied by his observer, Second Lieutenant William Martin. It was Francis' 142nd mission of the war. As a Grasshopper pilot in the 71st Armored Field Artillery Battalion, US 5th Armored Division, Francis acted as an artillery spotter and liaison pilot, flying long-duration missions over German lines in his Piper Cub aeroplane. He had served in France, Belgium and now Germany, and was a pre-med student before enlisting, so was often called upon to render first aid in addition to flying. Doc Francis had earned the Air Medal on the 27th of September 1944 after 43 combat missions, and a Bronze Star for saving a fellow officer's life. Some of the roughest flying missions were undertaken during the Battle of the Hürtgen Forest during the winter of 1944, in snow and low visibility. Some of his comrades' planes were shot down in flames, and Francis' Grasshopper was hit by machine gun fire. Perhaps for this reason, Francis' aircraft was named Miss Me, with an exclamation mark rather than a question mark at the end. By the 11th of April 1945, Francis' parent unit, the 71st Armored Field Artillery Battalion, was actually the closest American unit to Berlin, just 48 miles from Hitler's capital. Francis was on an observation mission about 100 miles west of Berlin when he spotted a German motorcycle combination speeding along a road close to tanks of the 5th Armored Division. As Francis brought his Grasshopper down for a closer look, observer Martin spotted another plane about 700 feet above the nearby forest and a couple of thousand feet below them. It was quickly identified as a German Fieseler Fi-156 Storch spotter plane, the Luftwaffe's equivalent of the Grasshopper. Both aircraft were unarmed, but Francis radioed his unit with the terse sentence, "We are about to give combat." The American plane was higher than the German. Francis and Martin both drew their Colt 45 service pistols and cocked them. The Storch was bigger than the Grasshopper, with a more powerful engine, but Francis made a diving pass, both Americans emptying their pistols at the Storch, hitting the German aircraft's cockpit glass, fuel tanks and right wing. Pulling up behind the Storch, Francis kept the Grasshopper close to the twisting and turning German aircraft, while he and Martin blazed away with their Colt 45s out of the open side windows from close range, Francis reloading by placing the stick between his knees as he quickly rammed home yet another magazine. They were close enough to see the German pilot's astonished expression as he glanced back fearfully at the pursuing Grasshopper. Evidently damaged, the Storch sheared away in a low turn, its right wing clipping the ground, the German plane cartwheeling into the field and coming to rest. Francis quickly landed in the field. The German pilot had tried to hide from the Americans behind a pile of sugar beets, but his observer, shot in the foot, fell down. Doc Francis pulled off the man's boot and a spent .45 bullet fell out. At the same time, Martin fired a couple of shots in the air, and the pilot emerged with his hands up. Francis bandaged the wounded German's foot, then confiscated the man's pilot badge and his shoulder insignia for souvenirs, as well as a Nazi battle flag he found in the wrecked Storch. 15 minutes later, US tanks arrived. The troops had observed the entire aerial dogfight, and Francis turned over his prisoners to them. Shortly afterwards, Francis received the Distinguished Flying Cross for his many acts of gallantry, and later served in the Korean War and worked as a commercial pilot. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, share and help support my channel at PayPal and Patreon. Details in the description box below.